This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Hannah Belinsky, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Wednesday, May 28th. President hosts military promotion ceremony, urges building modernized forces. Retired generals may lose benefits if they endanger national security. And frequent small boat landings by Chinese nationals may be gray zone harassment, says Ocean Affairs Council. But first, today's top story. President Lai Ching-te presided over the June military officer promotion ceremony at the presidential office on Wednesday morning, accompanied by Presidential Office Secretary General Pan Meng-an, National Security Council Secretary General Joseph Wu, and Defense Minister Wellington Koo. During his address, President Lai congratulated Lai Ching-te on his promotion to Major General. He highlighted Li's distinguished service record, including roles as commander of the New Taipei Military Police Unit, the 205th Military Police Command, and the Military Police Training Center. Li has made significant contributions to drug smuggling investigations and has trained numerous elite military police personnel, effectively strengthening the Corps' capabilities. The president emphasized that today's promotion represents greater future responsibilities. In facing international challenges and pandemic threats, he urged newly promoted officers to adopt new thinking in building modernized forces. He stressed that strengthening national defense capabilities remains the only path to protecting national security, encouraging officers to bring practical attitudes to their organizations and employ subtraction thinking to reform the military. President Lai reaffirmed the government's commitment to continued defense reforms, enabling the military to focus wholeheartedly on combat training duties. He also expressed gratitude to Li's family members present at the ceremony, acknowledging their unwavering support as Li's strongest foundation throughout his military career. As part of the 17 national security strategies proposed earlier this year by President Lai Ching-te, the Veterans Affairs Council plans to revise the Veterans Assistance Act in order to strip benefits from retired generals who make comments that damage national dignity. VAC Minister Yan Defa emphasized that the purpose of the amendment is to discourage retired personnel from being exploited by the CCP. This Wednesday, Yan explained to legislators that per current regulations, only monthly pension payments are affected in the event retired military officers and soldiers violate national security-related laws. He says the new amendment will also revoke medical care, employment assistance, and other privileges afforded by the VAC. The draft is currently under review, and the VAC expects to submit it to the cabinet by September. DPP legislator Puma Shen argues that the definition of damaging national dignity is too vague. He proposes additional revisions to the relevant articles of the Cross-Strait Act in the hopes that the draft could be reviewed alongside the VAC's drafted amendment. A number of small boat landings by Chinese nationals in recent months have aroused suspicions that the activity may be part of a larger systematic operation by China. The day before the first anniversary of President Lai Ching-te's inauguration, a Chinese father and son rowed a rubber boat from Fujian to Guanyin Beach in Taoyuan. The day before that, a Chinese internet influencer posted clips on social media claiming to have traveled from China to the coast of Dayuan in Taoyuan, planted a Chinese flag, and returned to China on the same day. Addressing media before reporting to the legislature on Wednesday, Ocean Affairs Council Minister Guan Biling said that while they are not ruling out the possibility that China is deliberately orchestrating these small boat landings, the case is still being investigated by prosecutors and the Coast Guard administration. As the investigation is not open to the public, she could not share further details. Guan explained that at least 27 cases of small boat landings have occurred during the past 2 years from as many as 15 provinces, even very inland provinces. In addition, the Chinese nationals cite similar reasons for attempting to illegally immigrate and are typically found to possess modular equipment. For these reasons, it is difficult to ascertain the reasons why they might be attempting to immigrate, or whether the events constitute gray zone harassment. Taiwan's health system is prepared to manage the recent surge in COVID-19 cases. That's according to Health Minister Chiu Tai-yuan on Wednesday as the country marked 7 consecutive weeks of rising infections. The Centers for Disease Control estimates that cases will peak in late June to early July, with medical visits reaching 200,000. At a legislative committee meeting on Wednesday, Cho said that Taiwan's medical system is prepared to manage the surge through a tiered and streamlined response, directing patients appropriately to clinics or hospitals to prevent emergency room overcrowding. He reassures the public that supplies of rapid test kits and medication are sufficient and encourages eligible individuals, especially those over 65 or with weakened immunity, to get vaccinated. In the U.S., Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. recently announced that he would no longer recommend COVID-19 vaccines for children and pregnant women. When asked whether Taiwan would follow suit, Cho said that decisions will be made following expert input from Taiwan's Immunization Advisory Committee. The world's leading chip manufacturer, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, is expanding its presence in Europe. The company has announced that it will be opening a new chip design center in Munich, Germany. The facility is expected to open in the third quarter of this year. Reuters reported that TSMC Europe President Paul Debout made the announcement at the TSMC 2025 Technology Symposium in Europe on Tuesday. According to Debout, the new Munich Design Center will support European clients in designing high-density, high-performance, and energy-efficient chips. He says the focus will be on applications in automotive technology, industrial use, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things. TSMC is also collaborating with Infineon Technologies, NXP Semiconductors, and Robert Bosch to develop a semiconductor fabrication plant in Dresden. The project, known as the European Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, is planned under the European Chips Act and aims to strengthen Europe's chip manufacturing capabilities. The International Cooperation and Development Fund and Radio Taiwan International signed a memorandum of cooperation on Wednesday to strengthen their partnership in international outreach. Taiwan ICDF Secretary General Huang Yulin said the collaboration will create positive synergy, combining Taiwan ICDF's global humanitarian and development work with RTI's international broadcasting capabilities. Taiwan ICDF currently implements bilateral and multilateral cooperation projects in over 40 countries, sharing Taiwan's professional capabilities and humanitarian care with international partners in need. Huang highlights the organization's 30 years of inclusive development work and emphasized that working with RTI, an organization with shared values and missions, will amplify Taiwan's impact abroad. RTI President Zhang Ruichang says the partnership is a national-level collaboration. He notes that while Taiwan ICDF extends Taiwan's presence through action, RTI embodies the spirit of Taiwan Can Help by sharing Taiwan's stories in over 20 languages worldwide, making the partnership a collaboration of action and communication. In addition, the two sides plan to share resources and promote broader exchanges. Both organizations expressed a commitment to becoming long-term partners in global engagement and talent development. Many curious Taiwanese travelers are enjoying cannabis products in Thailand, only to learn of some unwelcome consequences that prevent them from donating blood.
Taiwanese tourists visiting Thailand, Asia's cannabis paradise, are discovering an unexpected consequence of trying marijuana products, a lifetime ban on donating blood in Taiwan. As cannabis shops outnumber convenience stores on Thai streets following the country's legalization, many curious Taiwanese are sampling cannabis products without realizing the long-term implications. A recent social media post highlighted this issue when a Taiwanese tourist shared their regret after being permanently barred from blood donation. The individual had tried cannabis candy during a trip to Thailand last year and only learned about the restriction when attempting to donate blood upon their return. The person wrote on the social media platform Threads, "If I had known earlier, I would have chosen not to try it." Taiwan's strict blood safety regulations classify cannabis as Category 2 narcotic, automatically disqualifying anyone who has used such drugs from donating blood. Taiwan Blood Services Foundation Director of Operations Hong In-sheng explained that while different countries have varying policies, marijuana use is considered a potential addiction risk in Taiwan, leading to permanent disqualification from blood donation. Other permanent bans include chronic alcoholism, HIV and STDs, while recent tattoos, eyebrow tattoos, or lip embroidery result in a temporary 1-year deferral. Phyllis Koski for RTI News.
Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Hannah Belinsky. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.